Greetings, my dear friends. I'm happy to see you here. My name is Alex. Welcome to my channel. First impressions count, especially when applying for jobs. Discover how to write a good CV and uncover handy CV tips and advice. A CV, which stands for Curriculum Vitae, is a document used when applying for jobs. It allows you to summarize your education, skills and experience, enabling you to successfully sell yourself to employers. In the United States and Canada, CVs are known as resumes. These documents tend to be more concise and follow no particular formatting rules. A standard CV should be no longer than 2 sizes of A4. To ensure your CV runs across the preferred 2 pages, only include the main points of your education and experience. To save space, make sure that you only include relevant information and don't repeat information provided in your cover letter. As a recent graduate, your CV may only take up 1 page, and that's fine. Some medical or academic CVs may be longer depending on your experience. Contact details. Include your full name, home address, mobile number and email address. I also advise to include your date of birth or a photograph so that a potential employer might see you. If you have already some experience on the market, you may well be acquainted through partners and customers, and employer can recognize you. Education. List and date all previous education, including professional qualifications, placing the most recent first. Include individual modules where relevant. Work experience. List your experience in reverse chronological order, making sure that anything you mention is relevant to the job you're applying for. If you have plenty of relevant work experience, this section should come before education. Skills and achievements. This is where you talk about your foreign languages and the IT packages you can competently use. Whatever you list should be relevant to the job and not over-exaggerated, as you'll need to back up your claims at interview. If you have got lots of relevant skills, you should do a skills-based CV. Interests. Simply writing, socializing, going to the cinema and reading isn't going to catch the attention of the recruiter. However, when relevant to the job, your interests can provide a more rounded picture of who you are and give you something to talk about at interview. Examples include writing your own blog if you want to be a journalist, or being part of a drama group if you're looking to get into sales. Use active verbs wherever possible. For example, you could include words like created, analyzed and devised to present yourself as a person who shows initiative. There should be no spelling or grammar mistakes in your CV. Use a spell checker and enlist a second pair of eyes to check over it. Avoid using generic overused phrases such as team player, hardworking and multitasker. Instead, provide real-life examples that demonstrate all of these skills. Take a look at the company's website, local press and the job advert to make sure that your CV is targeted to the role and employer. Create the right type of CV for your circumstances. Decide whether the chronological skills-based or academic CV is right for you. Make sure your email address sounds professional. No crazyharry@crazyharry.com. If your personal address is not appropriate, create a new account to use professionally. Never lie or exaggerate on your CV or job application. Not only will you demonstrate your dishonesty to a potential employer, but there can be serious consequences too. Any market is a narrow space where suppliers and customers know each other very well and even remember mistakes made a decade ago. If you're posting your CV online, don't include your home address, as you could be targeted by fraudsters. You should always include a cover letter unless the employer states otherwise. It will enable you to personalize your application. What is a cover letter? A cover letter is a document sent alongside your CV when applying for jobs. It acts as a personal introduction and helps to sell your application. A cover letter is necessary as it gives you the chance to explain to an employer why you're the best candidate for the job. You do this by highlighting relevant skills and experience. Therefore, you should always write your cover letter with the position you're applying for in mind. Not to be confused with personal statements for your CV, cover letters should complement your CV but not duplicate it. The general consensus among recruiters when it comes to the length of these documents is the shorter, the better. Typically, 3 to 5 short paragraphs cover letters should not exceed 1 A4 page. If sending electronically, put the text in the body of the email rather than as an attachment to avoid it being detected by spam filters. Applications should always include a cover letter unless the job advert instructs you differently. Keep your cover letter brief while making sure it emphasizes your suitability for the job. It can be broken down into the following section. First paragraph. The opening statement should set out why you're writing the letter. Begin by stating the position you're applying for, where you saw it advertised and when you are available to start. Second paragraph. Cover why you're suitable for the job, what attracted you to this type of work, why you're interested in working for the company, and what can you offer to the organization. Third paragraph. Highlight the relevant experience and demonstrate how your skills match the specific requirements of the job description. Summarize any additional strength and explain how these could benefit the company. And last paragraph. Use the closing paragraph to round up your letter. Reiterate your interest in the role and indicate your desire for a personal interview. Now is the time to mention any valuable dates. Finish by thanking the employer and say how you're looking forward to receiving a response. Once finished, read through the document and cut out any unnecessary words and sentences. Don't fill up space by repeating what's already covered in your CV. Always try and address your cover letter directly to the person who will be reading it. Bear in mind that you're more likely to receive a reply if you send it to the right person. Advertised positions include a contact name, but if not, it is worth taking the time to find out who the letter should be addressed to. You can do this by searching the company's website for details of the hiring manager, or alternatively, you could call the organization to ask who you should address your letter to. Don't be afraid to do this. Many employers appreciate you taking the time and initiative to do so. If you're struggling to find a named contact, you can use a general greetings such as "Dear Sir, Madam," "Dear Hiring Manager," "Dear Human Resources Director." However, general greetings should only be used once you have exhausted methods of finding a named contact. How you sign off your cover letter depends on how you addressed it. If you include a named contact, sign off "Yours sincerely." If you use a general greeting, finish with "Yours faithfully." When you're applying for jobs, a common request among employers is for you to provide a list of professional references. After your interview, your references could be a key component of whether you receive a job offer from a company. For each new job opportunity, you should always make sure your list of references is the right fit. Think about your relationship with each person. How closely did you work with them? How recently did you work together? How will they explain your qualities to the hiring manager? All these details play a role in who goes on your list. You need to select people who will emphasize your strengths to potential employers. It's a good idea to prepare a document listing your references so you can have them ready for employers. Here are 3 categories of people you can include on your list of professional references if you want to land a job. First, former employer. A previous employer can provide the best insight into your work ethic. They know what your responsibilities were at your job and how you handled them. Second, partner or dealer. Someone you worked with as a partner or dealer at previous job, even if they weren't your boss, can be an excellent reference. They will be able to speak about things you worked on together and what you achieved as a team. Working with partners is one of the most important skills an employer looks for. Third, customer. Customer is always right, and the saying is well applicable to job reference. I would say this is the most important reference for you as an employee. Good relations with customers is the key to success, because without customers, there would be no business. Ideally, there should be two types of references. Written reference, a written document describing where you happen to work, on what projects and the achieved result. If you manage to do your job well, there should be a list of qualities so deeply valued by this person. Telephone reference. This is a list of persons with respective contact information who a recruiter might call and ask for reference. The list should include a name, a place where this person works, position in company, and telephone and email address. I would say that references might ruin or build your career, so try to think twice whether the listed person is competent and professional enough to give objective evaluation of your job experience. Applying for a job is very similar to selling, only here you sell yourself to the recruiter. In order to deliver all the aforementioned information in the best possible manner, I suggest you make a presentation. Your presentation should include your CV, diplomas, written references, and the list of persons who you worked with. Join all the documents in a PowerPoint file converted in PDF format so that it weighs less and could be sent as an attached file. So basically this is all concerning writing a CV. I wish you all a successful drawing up your presentation, and good luck! Last but not least, I strongly believe that with the right plan, even an imperceptible penny might return a ponderable pound. So guys, thank you very much for watching this video. I kindly ask you to put a like or a dislike for it. And if you have any suggestions or any ideas, please write them in the respective section below. And I also kindly ask you to subscribe to my channel.